In the world of business, knowledge isn't just power, it's your unfair advantage. This is Momentum, your deep dive into the books that shape the world's most successful leaders. Let's begin.
Your heart is beating in your throat. Your hands are a little sweaty. You are staring at your boss's office door, or maybe your partner across the kitchen table, and you are about to say the thing.
The thing you've been avoiding for 3 weeks.
Exactly. You've rehearsed the exact words in the shower. You have bullet points. You walk in, you open your mouth, and 30 seconds later, it is a complete disaster.
They get defensive, you get angry, or worse, you suddenly back down, swallow your points, and apologize for bringing it up.
Why does this happen? Why do our brains completely betray us the second the stakes get high?
Because biologically, your body literally thinks you are under physical attack. Blood leaves your brain's frontal lobe and rushes to your muscles. You're trying to have a nuanced dialogue while your nervous system is preparing to fight a bear.
Which leaves you with a massive trap. You suddenly believe you only have 2 options: tell the truth and ruin the relationship, or keep quiet and suffer.
But there is a third option. And to unlock it, you have to stop focusing on the words coming out of your mouth and start looking at something completely invisible.
Today, we are unpacking Crucial Conversations by Carrie Patterson, Joseph Grenny, Ron McMillan, and Al Switzler. This book is an absolute legend in leadership circles because it breaks down exactly what happens when opinions vary, stakes are high, and emotions run strong.
And the biggest light bulb moment in this book is that when a conversation goes off the rails, we think the problem is the topic. We think, oh, they just can't handle feedback.
Right, we blame the message.
But the authors found that people don't get defensive because of what you're saying. They get defensive because of why they think you're saying it. They feel physically or psychologically unsafe, which leads us to the biggest mistake almost everyone makes in a heated moment.
Oh, I love this part. I'm going to hold off on revealing that mistake for just a second because we need to see it in action.
I know. Stay with me. We are going to get to the counterintuitive trick to fix it, but you need to see the trap first.
Let's look at a concrete example. Let's talk about David. David is a senior project manager. He has been working 60-hour weeks for 3 months on a massive product launch. But every time his director, Sarah, gives an update to the executive team, she uses the word I. I decided. I built. I solved.
She's completely erasing David from his own project.
Yes, and David is furious. He decides he has to confront Sarah. This is a crucial conversation. Stakes are high. She controls his bonus. Emotions are very strong.
So David walks in, sits down, and says, Sarah, you are taking credit for my work.
Boom. Immediate disaster. Sarah's face drops. She crosses her arms. She says, David, I am advocating for our entire team. I'm sorry you feel I need to micromanage the credit, but I'm looking at the big picture here.
And here it is, the critical pivot point. Sarah is getting defensive. What does David do next?
Well, naturally, he doubles down. He brings up the exact email she sent yesterday. He brings up the slide deck from Tuesday. He tries to prove he is right and she is wrong.
Which brings us to that massive mistake we teased a minute ago. The absolute worst thing you can do when someone gets defensive is to keep arguing the content.
Wait, but the content is the whole point of the meeting. He needs her to know she stole his work. If he backs down now, he loses.
It sounds backwards, but the second someone gets defensive, the content no longer matters. They have stopped listening to your words because they don't feel safe. They think your core motive is to attack them. If you keep pushing facts and emails, you are just throwing fuel on a fire.
So how do you put the fire out?
You step completely out of the content. You stop talking about the project, the emails, who did what. You hit pause on the topic and you rebuild safety. And the fastest way to do that is a tool the authors call contrasting.
Contrasting is basically a don't and do statement, right?
Exactly. You address their worst fear right away. That's the don't. Then you state your actual goal. That's the do.
Okay, so put me back in the room with David and Sarah. Sarah just said she's looking at the big picture and basically called him petty for caring about credit.
Instead of arguing, David catches himself. He steps back. He says, Sarah, I don't want you to think I don't appreciate how you advocate for our team. You do a great job of shielding us from the executives. I do, however, want to make sure my specific contributions are visible when promotions are discussed next quarter. Can we talk about how to balance that?
Wow, you can physically feel the tension drop in that room.
Because he addressed her fear. Her fear was that he was attacking her leadership and calling her a thief. By saying, I don't want you to think I don't appreciate you, he completely removes the threat. Safety is restored. Now they can actually solve the problem. It's such a subtle shift, but it completely changes the trajectory of a relationship. You are no longer opponents fighting over a fact. You are partners trying to understand each other's motives. The book calls this building a pool of shared meaning. The more information you can get into that shared pool without anyone resorting to shutting down or blowing up, the better the ultimate decision will be. But you cannot get information into the pool if people are terrified of drowning in it.
So let's bring this to you right now. Think about the conversation you are avoiding, the one making you anxious. You've been trapped, thinking you have to either blow up the relationship or bite your tongue and accept things as they are.
You don't. Your homework for tomorrow is to plan that conversation using a contrasting statement. Figure out what the other person is most afraid of hearing and start by explicitly telling them that is not your intention. Then state what you actually want.
I don't want to undermine your authority. I do want to make sure we are aligned on this timeline. It takes 10 seconds and it changes everything.
But knowing it and actually doing it when your adrenaline is spiking are two very different things.
Which is exactly why you need to practice. Open up the Momentum app right now. We have a specific interactive module on crucial conversations where you can actually role-play these high-stakes scenarios. You can test out your contrasting statements and get real-time feedback before you step into your boss's office.
It is a total game changer for your confidence. And while you are there, you should absolutely grab a copy of the full book. Crucial Conversations has a half dozen other tools we didn't even have time to touch on today. From mastering the stories you tell yourself, to moving from talking to actually taking action.
Don't let a missing skill set cost you your next promotion or your peace of mind. Dive into the app, practice your contrasting, and grab the book. You've got this.